I have no idea what to talk about on this stream. It is going to be extremely boring because at the moment, let's have a look. So, anyway, I'm sitting around talking to AI, trying to figure out what's going on because I had a look, right? So I migrated to a Windows 11 computer. It was all good, but it kind of sucked and couldn't do anything, couldn't stream. So I went back to an old PC, which I could stream from, which functioned better, which had better specs, and I really missed being on a computer. So went in, played around, did some work on an Excel spreadsheet, copy paste, etc., and was having a really good time. So you see, I'm pretty boring dude. I enjoy cryptocurrency, hoping to get some freedoms from it. Now, basically, there's a thing called pulse chain, right? And if you have a look at the total value locked across V1 and V2 on Pulse X, which is basically the only DEX I use on Pulse chain, and arguably the main one. Now, I know on Ethereum there is multiple, decentralized exchanges. Uniswap comes to mind. There's 1inch and a couple of others, but you would have to say that one is more known than the other one. Personally, I would say Uniswap ranks higher. Whether or not it gets the best, bang for your buck, because there is this thing like CalSwap, which uses the native token as the fee, the gas fee, whatever. Like, so if you trade between a stable and a stable, it charges you a stable instead of like normally Uniswap would charge you Ethereum. And maybe you go and play around with the L2s and you get cheaper rates. Now, Polestrain was supposed to be the cheaper rate, right? And yet we're not seeing much adoption because we're seeing basically a whole lot of competition in the space. So maybe it was just the fact that Polestrain's mere existence was there. It caused other people in the space to take note, panic, and try and develop their technology quicker, faster, more rapidly than they would have, say there was only L1s. Now, I am not a cryptocurrency expert, so don't listen to me. I just sort of sit back and watch it from afar and see how it develops and trends. And I found this thing called HEX. It did really well. Now, it did a 10,000x, and it is, yes, it's a talking point and a win for the founder of it. Now, whether or not, though, the founder is as, how do I word it? So I came across the videos on YouTube and they sounded cool compared to what other people were talking about. And it sort of led into things like HEX prior to its launch. So because there was a whole community prior to 2019 when I discovered it. And what took place from there was sort of a shaping and molding of an interesting community, of which I sort of enjoyed. I saw the 10,000x, but then from there, looking back, is where things kind of, I don't know what happened to people. Like, it's not that the community is to blame, or the founder is to blame, or the global events are to blame, but we can go back and look and think about what is taking place, has taken place, and is going to take place in the future. Now, primarily, I was thinking, fast forwarding back to today, is V2 the better play? I hadn't thought about this at all. There's some pros and cons. Obviously, everyone can use AI right now, and in my opinion, is a far better option when thinking about asking people on the internet for advice or whatever it is. Um, it gives you like more, in some cases, more accurate advice. You can simplify it, get to understand what it is you're even thinking about. Because sometimes I'm like saying to someone, what am I even talking about here? Does it even make sense? I have to go and check my own understanding of what it is I'm saying and what I'm reading, because sometimes it doesn't. Now, it doesn't until you like really clearly understand what it is you're trying to ask. So I thought I'll go through, break down my own thoughts, and try to figure out what it is, why everything is so wrecked in the Richard ecosphere. I guess the main reason, in my opinion, is because the main reason, a reason can think of, is purely because the 10,000X took place. Now, if you think about it, right? So there was a launch, and fast forward, 10,000X. From the 10,000X, I'm like writing, doodling as I talk, but from the 10,000X, which was really, really cool, it built up a whole amount of new wealth because everyone, didn't think it was going to do XYZ. It did, far surpassed it. During though the first sacrifice phase, now everyone's aware of this. Basically, funds went in. To me, it was very groundbreaking. It was a very clever way of running your own code. There was mass amounts of teaching to be done towards the masses who are newer to cryptocurrency or thought like myself they knew stuff about cryptocurrency, which later on they didn't. Then the security aspects was interesting. The learning about reading on-chain transactions, functions, etc., was also fascinating, and how there was flaws in other cryptocurrencies and reasons why. Hex sounded really good at the time. At the moment, if you look, it's down well over 99% on Ethereum, and that is my issue, because if you have a look at something that can do a 10,000x and then create such hype, maybe it was for the fame, and maybe the fame was then multiplied by the founder. So that is, the underlings, became somewhat famous and gathered a following in the cryptocurrency space because everyone around them was gaining, was getting rich and enjoyed it and could tune in. If you have a look at the same space, myself included, who's listening to me? Like, no one. Who's listening to other people? Less people. Who can even tolerate like my face, other people's face in the cryptocurrency space after being down 99%? There was a movie that was released, and someone had bet the money, a lot of money, on cryptocurrency, and I hope that person is doing okay. Other people might have bought near the all-time high, near the peak of the hype, right? So what does it teach us? It teaches us that things can crash, things can go down. Back to the 10,000x. It was on Ethereum HEX, was sold, and bought, minted, and a massive pump took place. It gained traction, became famous. Some people were lucky enough to take profits, others didn't. And then, 5 years later, it's done nothing. The lead up to Pulse Chain itself is now an interesting vector to think about, because Hex itself was explained as similar to a certificate of deposit, and it could be that Hex, no one wanted to see cheap Hex anywhere. Hex is better than Ethereum, is better than Bitcoin. Now, that same statement is questionable in terms of price performance, after X amount of time. Now you can say, yes, well, Ethereum was once worth X amount, Bitcoin was once worth X amount. Maybe we got another 10,000X in us, right? But if, for instance, you look at current state, Hex did 10,000X, pull back 99%. The 10,000X was then used to sacrifice, which was good, lock in profits, lock in gains, enrich God knows who, no expectations, etc., etc. And then, which is good because it was like newly created wealth, which was locked into stables. Um, then we saw Pulse Chain itself finally come out. Along the lines, there was multiple sacrifices and basically events kicking off the demise of the chain, arguably, because as we saw the capital drain through sacrifices, which then exited with funds through price depreciation, people unable to basically losing money, burning money. Um, we then saw Hex itself not performing so well. The argument came out that the Hex on where is it? Hex on I haven't got that chart here, but Hex on Pulse Chain, never did a 10,000x, and arguably the starting point is the starting point of the chart. So there's some little words that are a play on words, I guess. If that's the play on words, and the play on words is that Hex on Pulse Chain has never done 10,000x either. And for eHex, the initial hex, which is the same code except on Ethereum, should that not be then the same as Pulse Chain in terms of the ability for it to perform? Or is it that now we're seeing the price depreciation on both chains, pointing out that there's some issues with Hex? Although the staking mechanism locks up tokens, etc., there's just no people only care about price, no matter how good the code's written. We can see it. Pulse Chain comes out cheaper, quicker, faster. People don't care. They have an alternative which is performing better, maybe quicker, faster. Maybe they log into their MetaMask and the shit doesn't look wrecked. I did see a tweet about something MetaMask, something. Meanwhile, everyone's still waiting on the airdrop from MetaMask. I swear they're just trolling everyone. And yeah, so everyone's just watching the big giant drain. People say maybe it's because someone's dumping. There's just nefarious actors just dumping. It's like, yeah, okay, cool. But ultimately, if Pulse Chain was so successful, price would be so amazingly high right now. We could all retire early and take profits. Now, people then turn around and tell me that no one took any profits, and that's why Hex did a 10,000x and then went down to 99, negative 99%. It's like, wait, let's follow the logic behind that. People sold. They continue to sell, which is like the reason why things so low. The reason why Hex is supposed to be immune to such actions. Now there was things like it was playing games, making Hex on Hex pump through the roof. If that's the case, then we're all a bunch of not all, but people with less are suffering more, and the bigger guys sort of don't care because they kind of made it. They live in a life of luxury. Some people, they didn't even have to do any of this, but they chose to. And I don't think they really care, to be honest. Like how many people really think that if someone's made like millions and millions and millions of dollars, right, they're gonna be crying because someone says something on X or whatever? I mean, they're gonna be living their life making more money. I think we then see people falling into the same trap they felt into. Well, not the trap, the social experiment, the psychological mind fuck, where who would spend their money based on what someone says on YouTube about cryptocurrency? No, that's just wrecked. But yet it's the same blueprint as the Hexicans did it, in my opinion. That no one told them to talk about this. No one told them to, celebrate the joy, the all-time highs, which are crazy, and have all the positive memories, which is good. This is not taking away from that, but it's pointing out that the things in cryptocurrency the streamers, the media, the coverage, the general talking points about it has been copied, cloned, and redistributed and performed in a worse way on the Hexagon side thus far. Thus far, because the price is so depressed and people only care about price. Now, you could say, well, don't talk negative about this because you're fighting your own bag, and and we all think that maybe a stream from the founder could save something. If you go back and look at the previous stream, it basically said that Hex Pulse Chain, I think Pulse Chain, mainly Hex, was somewhat a failure, which is disappointing to hear. Whether or not this new ProveX thing will, like, what is it? So Pulse X still exists, and that's good, I guess. Like, yay, hasn't gone away. We've got the chain still printing out code. You can get money from validators. You can get money from. You could once get money from yield from staking X or mining X or whatever you want to call it, and LP and LV1 on Pulse X and various other protocols that have been created. Now, you'd have to actually know what you're doing, and this reminds me very much like Ethereum. Like, you had to know where to find all these farms, and the food farms came out, and everyone just got wrecked. So then what happened on Pulse Chain? Everyone, I shouldn't laugh because I got wrecked too. Though I'm just sitting here going, like, it's still technically in profit, but I'm going, what? What am I? What am I? Why am I wasting my time on this? So I left for about 2 months, came back. It got worse. Like, there is no recovery from here that I can see in the immediate short term, and all I see is Prove X coming out, which is fine. I mean, there's a sacrifice taking place and low expectations or whatever, but I just don't understand. After saying all of that can be condensed into like a sentence like, was HEX a grift to get capital for a fork of Ethereum? That could be the sentence. Was it successful? Yes, because the sacrifice for that particular event took place, raised a lot of money. Oh my god! Don't get me wrong, but then and then everyone's like, it's going to be deployed. It did get deployed. Don't get me wrong. Yeah, okay. It took years. Other people did sacrifices. Everyone got wrecked. The price went down. Nightmare scenario after nightmare scenario after nightmare scenario. And then we see the prices now, basement bottom price. So I'm very close, not yet, to start doing a challenge again where I start purchasing some. I don't even know now. It's like, what am I purchasing? Am I purchasing? I've waited so long, and all I've seen is just death and doom and gloom. And then we see V1, V2 just like being decimated. And then somewhere this thought did cross my mind after reading X. It's like, well, maybe V2 is going to function better, and everything just being decimated and sold, liquidity is being pulled, and while the price is being destroyed, so it's all diminishing at once, race to zero, and then maybe, I don't know, everything gets deployed on what V2 and it functions somewhat smoother. I don't know. I mean, that's like, is that a thing? Is that really going to be a thing? I don't know. I have no answers, people. All I can do is sit and watch. And I think we saw a massive purchase a while ago, and it got destroyed in like was it even 48 hours? So the question is now, how can one recover from all this? Now, legal clarity is a huge win for like this is like should have been the highest of high wins, but instead it got overshadowed by destroyed price performance, community complete fracturing. There's no, I don't even think there is, like, to me, Some people say, "Oh, this is the best community ever." It's like, bro, shit ain't, nothing's changed since the day when I watched this community. All we saw, all I've seen, all you've seen if you've watched this is the same shit over and over again. Someone comes along, they say something cool, it makes sense, and then they launch a token. And it fails. You could almost say, don't strike it down, lightning, because I'm going to talk about the god, the founder. Now, some people think like that. That talk about something, then they release a token that did really good, did 10,000x. Let's just recap. They talk really cool, but then they don't speak at all for a long time about anything. And then they talk really cool, and then they change their viewpoints on other things that I don't agree with. I'm like, hang on, wasn't this person saying this before? And now it's like they're leading down this path. It's very interesting to see. Especially when you initially people thought like, well, I thought like, oh, this guy's really cool. Like, he likes this, likes that. But see, I was projecting because I thought this founder was cool. I was then projecting my positive things about it, only to learn later, wait, I never verified any of that. Like, it's quite often done that people think this is happening. Then they realize that they might not even agree with these people's like beliefs or whatever. And it's a shame. And this happens all the time, in my opinion. And cryptocurrency is not immune to that. And sometimes it's almost like a marketing ploy. It's like, if we appear like this, people will like us. This group will like us. That group will like us. It's like a niche for everyone. So who will like cryptocurrency? For some reason, I'm just so confused as to who, be outside of the initial talking point of Bitcoin, who is it that likes cryptocurrency now? And why is it that people who like Bitcoin hate Pulse Chain? And it's kind of been lost in translation, and it is really a shame because the Hexans taught so much, in my opinion, not about the old ways, but about things that maybe should have been taught earlier on. And now I'm seeing absolute garbage, absolute chaos and insanity when it comes to the chain. And instead of looking at the logic, looking at the numbers, is me saying, and everyone just buying my bags, and I can like see my number go up and be happy, then sell someone and push the price down on myself, which is what most people would do, in my opinion. We talk about raising our own token, and then we're going to somehow magically pump the price while simultaneously pressing that sell button. And I think early on, people said people love pressing that sell button. Like they can't help themselves, which is fine. Because I thought that the whole point was, don't press the sell button because then it's like good. Don't press the sell button because it's good for everyone. And I'm like, okay, down 99%, still haven't pressed the sell button. Sitting around going, what am I doing now? Waiting for another 10,000x? I don't really know, people. I have no idea if any of this is going to work. I have no idea if this is ever coming back. I am slowly losing faith in all of this. It's a shame because after seeing the 10,000x, thinking that this is going to be it, this is going to be amazing, it's going to keep growing, it's going to be sustainable. We're going to see we're going to see something that can help bring about financial freedom. When arguably, if you got in early enough to Bitcoin, Ethereum, etc., the same thing. So from that thinking point, logic is, well, eventually it could happen with Pulse Chain. What if it doesn't? What if it's already played out initially with like Bitcoin and Ethereum, And that's why it sucks so hard, because you want more gains on the heavy objects that can't be moved. So you try and float towards something like Pulse Chain and Hex, which now currently down 99%. And hopefully that you can repeat. History rhymes, doesn't repeat. It's really weird. Now, a lot of people probably already gone taking profits and don't even follow this space anymore, which is even more sad. And then you got people like me think this is the best ever still. I'm like, hang on. Maybe I just isolated myself from other cryptocurrencies. And whilst I isolated myself and thinking, I stopped looking at other technology being developed. And 5 years later, we can now buy Bitcoin on MetaMask. We can now have multiple L2s on Ethereum. Oh, sorry, on a MetaMask. And we like I was looking at that Solana stuff the other day, and then next thing it's like integrated with into MetaMask. So all this stuff is being developed, but yet I'm like, no. Blockchain's the best, bro. I'm like, hang on, I'm not even looking at anything else. What else is out there? Which is a shame, because I'm looking at now. What do you do? Like, just gonna hope and pray this works out? It's not the best. The latest thing is this Christmas tree token. Let's all make this Imagine that thing pumps to 10,000x with like $1 liquidity low. But yeah, that's about what's been happening. Not really too sure about this whole ProveX thing. Don't get me wrong, it could pump hard as fuck, but it could also flop like Pulse Chain has, and flop like like Hex on Pulse Chain has, because the main thoughts I had were, if Hex is so good on Ethereum, did the 10,000x, why can't it do it on Pulse Chain? And then if that's the case, and then it was somewhat killed, everyone claims, because of a tweet or whatever, and then the founder's tweet says Hexkins did it to themselves, which arguably they did. See what I'm saying? It's very confusing. Like, what is actually going on here? I think people here for 15 years, we've got like, what, 10 years left? A few years left. We've been here for so long. We're definitely not going anywhere. But how much of a change can some of us really do if we're not like mad baller rich? It's very curious. And then how much change can you actually do after you told everyone how wonderful this thing is, and then the shit just dumps hard as fuck? And you're left here going, what took place? I was like so confident this was going to be a positive outcome for the entire crypto space, yet people, so against it. It just proves them right. And that's really fucked up. Like, I can't believe it. But then what would I have done differently, right? Other than selling all-time high, then I would have provided LP better to earn more like rewards, taken more profits, and had more like capital to be sitting on stables. And then what? I potentially would have taken it out to develop real world assets, use that to then produce more income. Then I would have been financially free, and then I would have been thinking about purchasing the cryptocurrency that was supposed to be really good, because it hasn't been so good. If you did that, you're just losing money every day. And you can't say it's because it's because the purchasing power of the dollar is being decreased. It's like, no, it's because the cryptocurrency that I'm holding is being decreased. And then and the whole cry fagging thing after the outrage marketing, after the 10,000x, mind you. And then what happened to the person? Why didn't the founder get so like famous that just everyone in the world knew who he was? Maybe it was like an experiment to see if they could do that, because they were high IQ and they thought money and power relates to how the world works, which is a shame, because if it did, we could all be sitting on like $1 billion worth of cryptocurrency, which would be amazing. And we'd all be vastly wealthy. And what else? And we just have more money. Instead of crying, we'll be making music videos and movies and tweeting flexes about the best the best jewelry to buy. Which if you bought some of that jewelry and it had a bit of precious metal in it, maybe you did okay, Because oh my god, gold and silver is pumped through. I have no like. I honestly watching this all play out. It's just been really fucked up. Um, and the only way to turn this around, and I don't know. And that's what I'm trying to figure out live on stream. That's why it's so boring. That's why it's so dull because I have no gimmicky talk. I have no items to like distract you and treat you like you, you have you're not very intelligent. Um, which is not to say that people that do that, there's reasons behind it. Arguably, that's why the news has certain videos at the front of it, puts you in a certain state or whatever. Or it has a certain sound or whatever. Go to the whole TV thing. But the whole TV, how it's like all big. Well, that's why they call it programs. It's like, bro, at least they didn't fucking destroy my cryptocurrency valuation. God damn. ProveX. What do I think about ProveX? Well, I don't know, man. There's a chat. The bottom. What's happening? Bro, thank you for tuning in. Speechless. I am speechless. What are we doing? We're gonna sit around and wait. How long until this ProveX comes along? Yeah, I do not know. I've removed myself from every chat room. I've stopped following anything to do with cryptocurrency in terms of anything related to HEX, Pulse Chain, ProveX, PulseX, INC, and it's been really weird watching my X feed and like YouTube videos because the only things that have come up are nothing to do with cryptocurrency. So it's literally I'm reprogramming myself to be like someone who doesn't know anything about cryptocurrency and how long it takes for anyone to talk about Hex, Pulse Chain, PulseX, ProveX, INC, even Ethereum. It's very hard to come across, especially if you're sort of focusing on just whatever it is you're focusing on, working on. You see, like, how often do you drive around and you see like a taxi sign that says like Pulse Chain or ProveX or anything? At this point in time, you see more ads for like, financial companies than you do for cryptocurrency, which is really strange. So, how is it that a small group of individuals, such as Hexicans, Polskins, whatever, how is it that that small group are then going to reach the other, people who at this point would say, I'm glad I didn't buy that because the people that they did hear about it bought it and then it went down. Like, that's not good, right? That is not good at all. Arguably, that's outrage marketing because it made everyone enraged at the Hexicans. Like, literally, people would just be like, "Oh, that was just the biggest pump and dump ever," because they came along later on. They didn't see the whole thing play out. They didn't really go in and dive deep into it and see what is actually going on. So my best efforts, make a few stream here and there and try and figure out why this shit's not working. Now it is working, but what is going on? You could say everyone's selling. Okay. You can say there's no use case for it. Okay. What else? What else, people? What do we got? We're 50% utilization. Goes some pretty fast, block speed, but this is it. This is what was created. Behold. I mean, you could run some validators, just get like free pulse, and then it's probably my list of things to do. But I am just absolutely stumped. There's no yield anywhere. Um, what is crypto? Let's have a look at cryptocurrency as a whole. Like, good old coin market cap. The ones that gate kept. We got Bitcoin dumping a little bit. Coin market cap 20 index DTF low. Okay. Ethereum. Oh, BNB's pumping, bro. Can you imagine Pulse Chain at $837 in the future? I remember that shit when it was like barely $1 token. It was like cents. It's like 50 cents or some shit. Making AI trading bots low. All that mad profitable. Then the algorithm learns it and fucked you over. Doge. Monero, not bad. Zcash, still pumping. Sweet. AVAX. Shibs. Uniswap still better than what the airdrop was. Alright. Hopefully we get the MetaMask airdrop soon. Hopefully this ProveX thing comes out and we can actually see if and when and how it's going to perform. Personally, I'm going to be just holding back and probably miss out on a mad 10,000x and then you buy at the 10,000x and then get negative 99% because that has happened before. Unfortunately to some people. Yeah. It wouldn't surprise me if ProveX, a token, you can buy it at some point in the future later on cheaper than it was. Then you could get at the sacrifice rate, but then people point out, if you sacrifice X amount, no matter what, the people that sacrifice early get this amazing amount, and then they dump for eternity, and then you see price charts like you see on Pulse Chain and HEX and PulseX. Now, and then you expect a different result from the same play. So hang on, people. Hang on. Polskins want to emulate Ethereum performance, right, with Pulse Chain, but we don't want the high price. Does that mean we want stable, low? Here's the argument. Pulse Chain's price is so low that the fees are so low. You'll never have to worry about fees again on Pulse Chain. You won't have to worry about price appreciation on any other tokens or assets on there, but you have the lowest fees ever. All thanks to the sell pressure in the community. And oh my god. And the never-ending creation of absolute garbage on there, which encourages only degenerates to within the community to oh my god. Yeah, I can just feel the hate. So you say something, right? You're demonized. You say nothing. You get murdered in price depreciation. It's a lose-lose situation, people. No matter what you do, you cannot win, right? The only people that win are the person is the person that has all the sacrifice funds. That's the winner. If this was a game if this was like a video game of what? Command and Conquer, like who lost? We all lost. We and we got all our resources taken. And we not only were they taken, we gave them away willingly, and then we burnt them. We're like worse than lemmings, people. Fuck. Think about it. Be honest. Really self-reflect. This is why I make these videos. I look back at myself and go, fuck, I did that. Oh my God. But I look back and go, well, I'm still technically in profit, I would say. But how much profit? There's a lot of a difference in profits, being down like 9%. I got to ease back on the fast food though. God damn. This year has been very interesting. Oh my god. I'm still here though, people. Don't worry. I'm not going anywhere. I'm gonna be going. I think there's a lot of us that'll be here until the 555 stakes end, and we all hope that it's gonna be worth more than a penny. But what if it's not? And it's just, what if one hex is just, it's not even a cent now, is it? Good lord, lord. We just can't cop a win, people. Not even at a cent. Pulse chain is just decimated, and we're all waiting for Prove X. I'm not. I am like, I'm holding back any deployment of capital because I am so wrecked before I start doing the DoorDash challenge, the Uber challenge. So once that takes place, then maybe we go up. Until that point in time, I am just disgusted. Sell pressure I'm seeing is something unlike anything I've ever seen in my life. People who are living off of the people who are living off of Hex, shame on you. Shame for shame. Because back in the day, I don't know if you guys remember, people were saying, you know what's going to happen if no one buys Hex? If everyone retires? Price murderation of the token. And that is what we're seeing, people. We're seeing absolute price murderation. Another word coined by myself, murderation of a token. Not moderation, murderation. Now, and I am like just sitting on my hands going, what the fuck do I do now? What do I do now? Do I go farming, quote unquote, providing LP into something that's dying on V2 because it might help everything function better? I could log in and watch MetaMask struggle and clunk along with to try and even connect to any of the contracts. That's wonderful. That was just the cherry on top. Coming back, logging in, going, why is nothing working? And then watching MetaMask crash about a billion times, and then seeing it finally connect, and I'm like, why isn't there value on anything? And then barely being able to connect through to any of the contract. I'm like, oh, this just gets worse. It's like designed. It's almost like it's designed for everyone just to fuck off. So it's like, okay, what I'll do this thing, and then somehow get mad, like just get all this money, and then everyone hopefully just forgets about this because they get so fed up because they can't even access anything. That's what it appears to be. It's hilarious. And then people go like, no, everything's wonderful. Like, bro, this shit just gets worse after being down 99%. Then it barely functions. It's like, well, you should use different wallets. Okay, yeah, I did. But like, how many people actually? It's almost like we are Pulsicans. It's almost as if we are literally being wiped out one by one, being picked off. You know why? Because we don't want to play ball with whatever else is going on at the moment. That's what it feels like, and that's what it felt like when the cases were won and dropped and like proven actually just actual garbage. That's just what it feels like happening. But again, that's just a talking point. Like in the end, no one cares. They're gonna see the price and go, oh yeah, all right, that's really good. Like, okay, I'm completely new and I have $1,000, and I've decided I'm going to invest in that cryptocurrency, right? Because now's a good time, and I'm going to look on this page here and decide what to buy. And I've heard about Bitcoin, I've heard about Ethereum, I've heard about Solana, I've heard about Dogecoin, I've heard about all this other shit. And meanwhile, where is Pulse Chain? Where the fuck is Pulse Chain? Where is HEX? Where is any of this? Where's any of us? We are long gone. Some of us have retired, and hopefully they've got enough for that have to come out of retirement. And then you've got like the people that retired, the people that aren't retired going, this guy's not retired. He dumped on our heads. Fuck him. Fuck her. Oh my god. Blah, blah, blah. Like it's just full on fractioning of the community. It's really bad. But when the price goes up together, everyone's like euphoric and happy. It's just, bro. It's a shame. Now let's have a look. While I'm here. Is there any content coming out on YouTube? Right. Let's look up what Prove X. Prove. Oh, I love this computer so much. I've missed this computer so bad. Oh, I can't really type one-handed too well. Prove X. So 3 weeks ago, 3 weeks, we had a video about sacrifice, everything you need to know, right? I watched this and comments are turned off. Are you serious, bro? Why comments turned off? Why are the comments turned off? Bro. Okay. Comments turned off pretty much summarizes when you're severely hated in an area. It also could be to stop scammers from putting absolute bullshit on there. Let's have a look. Transcript. But here's the problem, right? Watching a video from someone who you haven't heard from for ages and hasn't got anything around for ages and shit's just wrecked. You then look at them and it's like, who's this person? Why am I watching this? Why do I care? It's really sad because we were doing so well. And then it all just fell to pieces. As the community grew, just I have no idea what happened. We made 10,000 X's. We should have all capitalized on it then and be like, yes, we all made 10,000 X's. We are the best in cryptocurrency. And then we would have seen our shit go to zero. And go, oh, fuck. Now what? So you're really going to tell people to buy the dip? You're really going to tell people to ape into fucking ProVex? Oh, my God. I've just lost so much faith. It's just so sad. At least it says here at the very end. Anyway, see you guys. Talk to you soon. Hopefully, we get something. Well, it's been 3 weeks. I don't know what the definition of soon is. Yeah, I got nothing. I do not know how to turn any of this into a positive light. You have to face reality and just realize that Pulse Chain's out. Price wise, currently it sits as a failed sort of failure in terms of wanting to win market share of the current cryptocurrency space. Like that's clear. HEX is unable to perform on Pulse Chain, and because of that, it points out an ultimate failure that the product itself was a failure because it needed the 10,000x on the back of the sacrifice, on the back of whale games, on the back of whatever took place. And it can't do another 10,000x on Pulse Chain, which is an absolute shame. Prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. I'll happily sell all my bags right now, and then the crypto gods can strike me down, and then you can do 10,000x because you want me out of this system. I mean, that's I'm happy to do that. I swear that was going to happen. It hasn't happened. I'm still here, so I'm still being punished because everyone keeps pressing that sell button. Right? I think the problem is I can't justify buying more of this shit. People, tell me why. Someone needs to tell me why it is I need to buy it. Like I need to buy it. Where is Pulse Chain, Pulse X, INC, and HEX in my chart of needs if I'm starving to death because everything's wrecked and there's no money because everything's poor, because the price of everything is increasing, but your salary is not? Tell me where in that chart I'm going to go, okay, I need to portion off this amount and purchase HEX or Pulse Chain or Pulse X. It's a very hard argument at this point in time, like, especially when it's down. The only argument is DCA, and then maybe it goes up, which, yeah, okay, cool. But it seems like a lot of people DCA and it goes up 10%, and they scrape it, they just sell it all. So it's like, okay, fine. This is the game we play. So, in closing, man, I can barely make it to now. 10 more minutes of this. I don't know. Let's do 10 minutes of the complete opposite. 10 minutes of nothing but positivity, right? All right, here we go. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we'll be about 50 minutes. And then imagine 10 minutes from here, I say nothing but positivity about pulse chain, right? Imagine if nothing goes down and it only goes up. No capital was ever sold and it's only bought. Imagine if everyone in the community stopped hitting that sell button, and imagine if we all pulled the liquidity to a certain level, which would make things easier to go up in price. Imagine if ProofX comes out and miraculously gains mainstream media adoption, and miraculously is on every billboard, sports event, and even on the homepage of Google that says, use this if you want to trade cryptocurrency. And then imagine every single cryptocurrency holder in the world automatically getting an airdrop like Monero. And then imagine everyone hearing the wonderful story of how the cryptocurrencies HEX, Pulse Chain, PulseX, INC only went up and to the right and only hit $1, $10, $100. Now, it is currently about 5 years in. So 5 years off, in 5 years' time, maybe HEX is at $100. Then whoever's left, probably through staking, will reap the rewards. Because if there is meat on the bone, there's also another 10,000x left in the Pulse Chain, Pulse X, INC, and HEX. And then, not only that, because no one sells, it does 100,000x, it does 1,000,000x, because no one can sell anything. Because no one wants to sell anything, because they only need to focus on themselves, because everyone realizes that maybe cryptocurrency isn't the way to get rich initially. It's one additional way to get rich, because maybe if you're already rich, you don't need to worry about little price movements here and there. Maybe you need to go out and get a wonderful job, multiple sources of income, and then all you can do is buy cryptocurrency and then watch it go through the roof and then not be able to touch it for 50 to 60 years, much like a superannuation fund. Then you will see amazing results, because only in means only up and to the right. Anything out means drainage of that particular system. Now, that is not what's going to take place with HEX. That is not what's going to take place with Pulse Chain. That is not what's going to take place with INC. What is going to take place is a billion X, 10 billion X, a trillion, million, gazillion X, right? That is what's going to take place on all of cryptocurrency. Now, Bitcoin's already kind of done that. So, maybe it's a really good time to buy that. What else? That was like 2 minutes of absolute positivity. Absolute positivity. Hopium, one would call it. I intravenously injected hopium. Now, whether or not you believe that is up to you. Because if you feel rich, then you already are rich. Lol. This depressing sort of negative speak about cryptocurrency just shouldn't be done. We should just only talk wonderfully about it and realize that I can't like I said, at the end of 2025, it's going to be really interesting what takes place, because we're either going to go through ultimate doom and gloom, or we're going to rise like the phoenix from the ashes to get some actual gains in this space. And I hope we do, because the next large, I believe, is 2026 March. There is some big fucking stakes coming out. And if it continues down this pattern, we're going to be obliterated into zero. But if we can make it past there, maybe there's green skies. I don't know. But there is big stakes coming out all through, not including the always like more recent ones, all the way through. I personally marked them all. And then after every stake, I went, how come but the price just dies after every stake? I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. We used to go through and analyze this shit. Whoa, shit. Then what happened? Oh, I don't know. I don't know. Now, I honestly have nothing, people. Come on, I'm waiting for this PrevX. We got some interesting privacy stuff, which is good. Privacy always good. But we just can't seem to get lift off, people. It's like failure to launch. We're just stuck in our parents' basement, hoping, praying something takes place, hoping someone else does something, And obviously, um, it's like pretty somewhat negative. That's not criticism. It's like it's criticism that we need because we need to realize how crazy we all sound and look at the prices and look at what's actually taking place. Even if we can't figure it all out, you know, it, it's really wise, in my opinion, to recognize what it is that is actually taking place. Um, so only then, if we fully understand the problem, which I don't, we can then sort of deal with it. Because I thought the problem was high gas fees. I thought the problem was low adoption. I thought the problem was people didn't hear about it. People heard about it. More and more stuff happened during the all-time high. Um, but that wasn't enough to solve it. If anything, it just sort of made everything worse because if it was artificial in nature and wasn't brought about through the universe, God's plan, the universe's plan, whatever, and it was sort of humans' plan, humans' mind is sort of a bit smaller than what is. Um, so on that note, I think I shall end very soon because I'm going to try and make it to an hour because I don't see anyone streaming anymore, man. We've lost everyone. Gone. It's gone. Everyone is gone. Everyone has abandoned ship. Um, I think they asked AI and everyone's gone. Fuck. What are we doing? I'll let someone else do it. Someone else do it. I'll just sell and then no one, not someone else will buy, not me. It doesn't matter. I can just sell my little, I can sell my little, scrape the profit, and it won't affect anything. It's like, well, look at the fucking prices, people. Look at the prices. Look at the prices. Ah, woe is me. the daily what the year. What is this? Hopefully, are we going to get a Christmas stream? I don't think we are, people. I don't think we're getting shit. None of this. We don't need. We don't deserve any. We don't any of this. Any stream we get. Um. Let's analyze. Like, well, let's. I mean, it's cherry picked. It's like the end of a stream. There's no like. Is this guy G or not? I don't know, man. Like, is he trying? I think. I hope so. Um. Yeah. Fuck. What are we gonna do, bro? Bro, what are we gonna do? What? What? I don't know. If I could have a conversation with Richie, I fucking know, man. I'll be like, bro, why do you even care? Why don't you just go do your own thing and just party yourself into oblivion? Because no one would have known who you were in the way we do now, and no one would have been able to throw as much dirt. Instead, you went out, you tried to create something, you created vast wealth for people who were lucky. I wasn't so lucky, but then you you proved that certain cryptocurrencies, you proved XYZ, shit got thrown out, still wasn't good enough. And now I would say almost all of your followers have turned on you, bro. Like, fuck. And I don't think it's this guy's fault at all. I think it's sell pressure. I look at myself in the mirror and go, man, I would have sold. Going back again, knowing what I know now, I would have sold more. So I don't know, man. I do not know how this is all going to end. But yeah, I'll be like thinking to myself, what would I ask? I'll be like, in your opinion, do you think Hex, Pulse Chain, as at this point, Pulse X, INC are winners or losers? And you can answer yes or no. The follow-up question would be, do you think from this point we can see green candles ever again? And if yes, how? But then G can't probably even answer this, man. He's probably too busy like doing like cool stuff. Just streaming to fucking no one on the internet, bro. Bunch of brokies. Fuck. All right, so that rounds out the hour. I need a new microphone because there's like forbidden stickers on it. And I think 2026 is going to be a better year. Either I want to have the best birthday ever or the worst one. And also, was it March? March. Yeah, March is going to be an interesting one to watch, people. And I hope this Prove X thing comes out sooner rather than later. Free speech, signing out. See yous. I should have brought this to Rumble. God damn it.